All right, folks. Welcome. Apologies, I didn't do a slide deck for today's presentation, but it's going to be a good one anyway. Folks, my name is Brett Kay. I'm a senior product trainer at Inside Real Estate. Pleasure to be with you today. And our topic will be smart CRM best practices. So we're going to really take a look at ways that you can prioritize, organize your pipeline of opportunity, and then some things that we can do with that stuff. You all are muted as a default. I'd encourage you to use the chat if you have any questions. We're looking at probably just under a half hour, and if you have questions, I'll answer them. Otherwise, we'll get you on with your day. So you tell me where we go. I'm going to initially share this article with you. It's a good one to start with. Hi, and I'm going to go ahead and pass this to everyone in the chat. And without any further ado, what do you say we jump on in here? Oh, and one other thing I forgot. Sorry about that. I just came off another training here. Let me pause this for 2 seconds. I have a recording doc I'm going to share with you. So sorry, just give me 2 seconds here to pull it up. This is where we're going to put the recording. I believe it's on this one. You're not going to see anything. Just stand tight for a couple minutes here, or not even that. I think it's on this one. Stand by. I don't know if it's on this one or not, but I'm going to share this one with you anyway. And I'll make sure that everyone on this call, I will update it on this doc. How about that? I'll add it if, no matter what. Here we go. Josephine, today we're talking about smart CRM filters. Ma'am, I would recommend you contact our support department, and that's probably a good place to start. That's in the lower right-hand corner. I would contact the live chat bubble. You can do that 7 days a week. That's definitely your best bet. Let me read that question, see if I can, how can I put my email registration on my homepage? Gosh, I don't even understand exactly what you mean with that. Oh yeah, definitely start with support. I mean, when someone registers on your website, I'll give it a 1 minute shot and then we'll jump into the smart CRM. I mean, if that's what you mean, I mean, there's already going to be, it's going to ask them for their email after 2 clicks. I mean, that's the way the lead registration works. Is that what you're talking about? Email registration? All right, so if I click at 1, I look at 2, it's going to ask me for my email. That's already set into the system. Your market update. Oh, okay. Maybe like I have up here at the top, how I have like North County home deals, for example. That's something I added. Maybe you have a market update. Is that what you're talking about? If you're talking about putting a form, that's a whole other thing. You're going to have to get someone to build. I mean, we can add pictures. I can put links quite easily, but I'd recommend you show up to part 3 of the Agent Quick Start training to explore that and contact support to get all the details. I can tell you, for those of you that are interested, in the upper right-hand corner, if you haven't already, folks, you should be completing the Agent Quick Start, okay, before you do anything in the KV Core platform. It's a 4-part training course, and we talk specifically about your website on part 3. Okay, so we offer live coaching for every one of these sessions every single week, no cost to you. The idea is you watch the videos first, then you can sign up for the live webinar. So that's how that works, okay? But the third one is where you're going to get data on your website on how to do something like that. It's a great idea. I'm definitely don't want to discourage you from doing that. I just wouldn't be the right guy to talk to you about that. That's website programming. I can teach you how to use the system, but HTML is out of my wheelhouse. Thank you. Thanks for indulging me, everybody else. Let's talk smart CRM and how important it really is for your system. And you know what I mean by that is, if we don't have our leads properly categorized, then how are we going to be able to do anything with them? Okay, let's talk about some of the ways that we can categorize our leads. I'm going to go ahead and select my smart CRM in the upper left-hand corner. It's 3 down from the top on the left. and I want to see all my contacts. And here they are. Now, an easy way to think about how the first 3 levels of how we organize KV Core is like this. If I select filters, you'll notice the first thing I see are contact status. This is the first level. Everything in the system has got to be in one of these 7 statuses. And that truly is the client journey. When I look at an individual lead, there they are again at the top: sphere, prospect, new lead, active, client, contract, and close. That's the first level. You don't get any choice on this one. Okay, you've got to pick one of these. That's how the whole system works. We have smart drip campaigns for every single one of these categories. Level 2 is type. Type is buyer. It's a new lead and it's a buyer. Type is it's a new lead and it's a seller. That making sense? So if you think that number 1, you have status, it's a new lead. 2, I have type, it's a buyer and a seller. This is the basic way that everything in the system is organized without exception. We don't get choices in this, friends. Meaning, you know, I want to see all my new leads. I want to see all my new leads who are buyers. I want to see all my new active and prospect leads that are buyers and sellers. Okay, but you got to pick these first. Now, where you come in, and here's the good news, are what we call hashtags. Now, hashtags in the system, folks, this is how you create your own labels, your own groups, based on what you think is important. So, like, for example, if I'm looking at this lead up here and I talk to him and he tells me, you know, I'm looking to purchase in 3 to 6 months. I could tag him 3 to 6 months right there on the spot. Everyone see that on the far left? To make a hashtag, all you do is you don't use spaces, and that's it. It could be 1 letter, 1 number. It could be a sentence. It could be a paragraph. It could be 5 words. Whatever you do, however you want to use it, you just don't use spaces. And you can see that in my drop down here, I actually have a library of choices, ones that I've created before: 3 to 6 months to buy, 3 to 6 months, purchase 3 to 6 months. Whatever way you want to use it, I could either create it right on the spot by hitting enter, or I can just select it. And what I just did is gave this lead a tag. I just gave it my own category. That means that I can now search in my CRM for everyone that has the hashtag 3 to 6 months. You can use it for property amenities, right? They want a pool. They don't want a pool. They want a single story. They want a 3-car garage. They like horses. They have an FHA loan. They are not pre-approved. Any and all these things. So, for example, if I use my example of 3 to 6 months, show me everyone in my system that has the hashtag that I've given it 3 to 6 months. I could go ahead and apply that filter, and that's going to show me all the leads that I've ever tagged 3 to 6 months. Let's give another example, and then I'll take a pause, see if there's any questions. Let's say I've been using pool. For all those people that say, yeah, I really want a pool. If I started using that, I could then sort my CRM for everyone that has a pool. Let's say you just got a new listing. Guess what? Your listing has a pool. How do you find all those people? You've been using hashtags. So then I could pull up this group. How many do I have? Like 20 here that they want a pool for some reason. So just like that, I could select that group, send a mass text, send a mass email. Here's my new listing. And in fact, if you use mass text, we already have an MLS ID field. So I could pop in my listing, right here, and then it'll validate, and then I can send it right out to those people. So it makes it real easy for you to categorize it the way you want. Is this making sense to everybody? How can I search on my website and create filters without limitation to how many I can see? Not sure what you mean by that. I can create filters and property search alerts for one of my leads, right? I get 2 per lead, but on your website, no, you're not gonna. I mean, as a consumer, and hopefully if you've gone through our training course, I know you've done this because we do extensive testing on your website, what you can and can't do. I mean, if I look at this website, right, and you're asking, how do I search for my website and create filters? Okay, well, let's see what we can do. How about we start there? So I'm a consumer. I got to your website. Okay, and if you want to learn how to do that, go attend our part 4 of the Agent Quick Start. We talk about lead gen. Let's say, I don't know, I'm looking in my area. I'm here in California, over in San Diego. Let's say I'm looking in Oceanside, California. Okay, so I pick not New York. I didn't know there was one in New York. Oceanside, California. Now you'll notice the obvious thing, property types. Okay, condos, single families, how many bed bath, max min price, and search. So those are the filters right out of the gate. Now, if I wanted more filters, I could hit more options. Now, this is where we're going to, we could save things, but I'll tell you what, your consumer doesn't do this. Almost none of them. We real estate agents do, and I can do this exact stuff on the back end for my client. But what we found is most people don't. They just say, show me everything in San Diego from this price range to that price range with this bed bath, go. Did they save it? No. Do you think they took this step? Most likely not. They didn't. But let's walk through it a bit more. If I wanted to, I could save this as a consumer. The good news for you on the KV Core side is that if your lead looked at least one property, the system is smart enough to start sending them properties within 2 days, 48 hours, based on what they look like. Because if they didn't save it and agree to say, please send me search alerts, which most don't, they're not going to get anything. But good news is we got your back on this. Now, back to the website. So of course I could pick area, location. This is all per your MLS. So what you have available depends on what your MLS displays, because we have a true IDX feed. I can create a grid, list, or map view as the consumer. I can go high to low, low to high, bed bath on what I want included in here. Most of the basics are, right? Maybe I want to see, I'll just start running a few here just so you can get an idea. You know, up to 850, any bed, any bath. There's my home types if I wanted to throw in condos. If it was important for architectural style, I could do that. If your MLS supports it, we can show sold data. That's up to your MLS. Okay, questions, ask your broker. Square footage, acreage, year built, walk score. With me so far? Now down here on amenities, these are the popular ones, and I can do all this on the back end as well. Just listed, waterfront with the pool, short sales, fireplaces, garage, stories, and we can even do keywords. Which ones? Up to your MLS on what we can display. So that's an example of how I could filter and apply the filter, but did it save it? No, it still hasn't saved it for the consumer. It just gave me a filtered search. Yeah, if I see now at the top, there it was. I could save my search. That's the option where you as a consumer could save your search. So here it is. Now, of course, I'd have to log in. So let me go ahead and do that. We'll do a save filter test at gmail.com. Notice it gives me an easy way that I could go in with Facebook or Google credentials or email. We don't recommend you ever requiring a phone number. Folks, it's going to cut down on about 30% or more any lead volume you might have got otherwise. So just keep that in mind. So there it is. Okay, so if I want to go check out my search up here, I can click on my name, or, once again, I already did my, saved my search over there. But if I had my username right up here at the top, this is where my saved search is. This is how I could save it. So when you say filter, these are the things that we can filter for, and that's how you would save it. Okay, that's how your consumer was. Now, me as the agent, I can do all that on the back end, no problemo, too. I can set it up for a lead, same kind of stuff. So I'm looking at a leads record. I can go over to property alerts here on the lower right, and then hit edit, and then, pick my area, polygon map, listing search, price range, keywords, all that good stuff. Does that help? And that's right. That's correct. If I'm trying to do a search myself, it treats me like a consumer and limit my search to 3. Actually, if you logged in through here in the upper right, we're actually giving you a bit more. The official lead capture, you get to look at one property, and then on the second one, we're going to ask for your info. The fact that you used your own login, the system knows that, so you get a few more clicks, by the way, just an FYI. You can change this, but we absolutely recommend that you don't. It's really easy to change. You can pick whatever you want. But trust me when I tell you, these have been tested extensively. I don't mean thousands, I mean hundreds of thousands of times. So hopefully our clients get to benefit from that knowledge that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. However, it's your system. You can do what you want with it. So do keep that in mind. I'm glad you're testing though. That's good. We all should be doing that. We all should test our stuff. All right, I'm going back to the CRM unless there's any other questions here about, sounds like you folks need a website discussion, a lot of the guys and gals on this call, and that's cool. I mean, I would go attend part 3. Think of this one as a specialized extra next level training, our success tips. That's what they are, because you're not going to get this training like I'm giving you. It doesn't go that deep anywhere in any of our training, and that's the idea. Each one of us trainers, we pick up a topic, give it to you in a half hour kind of thing, that you get more than just the basic kind of training. So I appreciate your patience with me, folks. Okay, back to the CRM, back to the filter. We've learned about the status. We learned about the type. We just learned about the hashtag. Folks, in the CRM, I can do this in mass. Let's say I had just imported this whole group here, and I know that I want to put all these people in a particular group. I could select the entire column, go to more actions, and add a hashtag in mass. Right? Just don't use spaces. I update and I just tag them all exactly what I want to tag them all. And that means I can now search on them. You want me to give you a good use case? Oh, I don't know. How about scheduling an email? Hold that thought for a minute. I can create a filter by source. Has phone, doesn't have phone. Email, I know you can read, but I want you taken away from this, but you can also save your filter. Similar to like what we were talking about on your website for the consumer, right? I can apply the filter, but did that save it? No, I'll have to run it again next time. If I save the filter, then it's there. If you save a filter, you can pin it to the top, like I have mine up here. Does everyone see that? These buttons I have up here? All right, so I can create, let's see if those are like pond accounts. Let me give you, there it is. Active prospect, new lead, buyer, sellers, team-owned leads. I can create my own filters and tag them or put them on the top of my CRM, or I don't have to. I could just have all those filters available to me once I've created them. Here, let's read a couple of mine. 3-star leads, active last 7, active last month with email and phone, active leads, active buyer and seller, all my leads, all leads, all types. Call it what you want. Frank's favorites, inactive last year, just browsing. That would be more of a hashtag, but see, I could use the hashtag, categorize them, save the filter, and then this is my just browsing group, for example. It can be anything you want it to be. Sphere leads, team-owned leads, okay? And then you'll get the option to pin those at the top if you want, or delete them or get rid of them. So categorization, status, number 1, sphere, prospect, new lead. 2, buyer, seller, renter, vendor, agent. 3, whatever you want it to be, by hashtag. Another level is definitely by source. You know, if I had, let's say, imported leads, that's a source. Show me all my imported leads. If I'm paying for leads, show me all the leads that came from Zillow or Realtor.com or wherever you're getting leads from. Okay, that would be another way. Let's go a bit deeper. When it was created. This is a biggie. I could teach a whole class on these 3 items right here. And you know what this is? Show me everybody that does not have search alerts. Show me everybody that does not have area market reports. Show me everybody that does not have a running campaign. Friends, this is opportunity staring you right in the face, because we want to see what we do have, but what about what we don't have? This is where I would focus my very first pro tip for you, in addition to properly categorizing everyone, is that you see who doesn't have follow-up and do something about it. If I find this group and I do them individually, personally, and I'd say, show me everybody that does not have search alerts. I mean, some probably don't need them, but some probably do. So if I look at mine, I have 77 that don't have search alerts. And they're new leads. What's going on there? Why? Should they? You know, I do the same thing. Show me who doesn't have market reports. Right? Your website offers this. On your website, that is the when I'm looking for a particular area, it gives you an overview, a 30-day summary of a particular area. Call it our market report. But that's something that you can send to people that are just browsing, or they're not really serious now, or they truly want an overview of a particular market. This data is perfect because I think, Josephine, you were mentioning like a market something that you share. Yours is probably more personalized, but just know we have one that you can send to everyone that's already built and automated. Okay, market report while that's thinking about loading. All right. When we get down even deeper, I could say, well, show me who has responded via text or email. Show me who is last active on my website in the past 7 days, 30 days. Create that group. I could save that group as a saved filter and then do something with it. Like what? Like send them a mass text, send them a mass email, share a list of properties. Well, I don't know. How about wish them a happy Thanksgiving or wish them a happy Halloween? Did you folks know you can do that? We're going to take what we just learned a little bit here from the Smart CRM filter, and we're going to take a sidestep over to our marketing tab on the left, marketing. We're going to then locate and click on scheduled mass emails, Let's go ahead and get started. And then in the upper right, everyone see that little plus schedule email? It's a little green button. Let's go ahead and click that. So you just learned how to build one of these. You might not realize it, but what you just did in that CRM, you made it easy that you can actually put that to some use. Bring your attention, please, to the upper left-hand corner. Does everyone see that upper left-hand corner? You have 3 categories, 3 different methods of who you want to send to. So remember, let's just say you saved one of those filters. Maybe it was your prospect, new leads, and active. Well, go ahead and select that option, and all the filters you ever created, you can put here and then send an email to all of that group at once and schedule it to go out into the future. 2, I could instead use hashtags. Now, what I do for my personal leads is I'll hashtag you like holiday card. Like maybe I talk to you and go, well, I'm just starting my search, probably looking at 3 to 6 months. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but yeah, I want to check out some properties. Awesome. I would tag you and I would say tag holiday card. I'd tag you holiday card. And then that means when I'd come over to send a holiday card, you guessed it, show me everybody that I've ever given the hashtag holiday card to. I mean, it could be whatever you want. Doesn't have to be holiday card with the same purpose. And yeah, I could do it to multiple people. I could do past clients or multiple hashtags, excuse me. Right? I want to send to everybody that has holiday card, everybody that I've ever hashtagged past client. How about everyone that I said newsletter or friend of family? Maybe I use that as a hashtag, friend of family, right? That's my second option. So 1 is a saved filter. 2 is, a hashtag or hashtags that you've created. And guess what 3rd is? Status. I want to send to my sphere, all of my sphere, all my new leads, all my clients, all my closed. If you want to send an email to your entire database at once, this is the way to do it. Use this 3rd option and just pick every status that there is, and there are 7, and you'll send to everybody in your CRM. I could send an email right now, schedule it to go out in 20 minutes, for example. But let's use the example of the holiday card. So here, if you look at templates, and I click on that drop down and I typed ahead holiday, well, what do you know? We have Thanksgiving, Martin Luther King, Christmas, New Year's, Halloween. I created some on my own, 4th of July, et cetera, et cetera. But let's say I wanted to do a Thanksgiving. And yes, you can change these, and yes, they are easy. But you might say, well, I'm going to go ahead and reach out, because sometimes, how many times can you ask someone, are you looking? And before they say unsubscribe me, right? I mean, we need to tread delicately in a lot of times, and sending a nice little innocuous Thanksgiving card might be the way to stay top of mind. We drop your website, right? I could schedule this to go out on Thanksgiving Day in the upper right. Everyone see that? I said when to send it, and I'd say, oh, let's send it on the 24th. And let's send it at 12 o'clock p.m. I would then schedule that email, and you're done. And it will tell you how many people are going to get it. And you're one step closer, hopefully, to winning some people's business, one way or another. Excuse me. But you can also use this as a great first engagement strategy. Let me give you another use case. Let's say now that you have a better idea of some ways to categorize your CRM, One of the first things you need to do, or I say you need, it is recommended that you do, is to reach out to these people, remind them of who you are, what you do, and you got to drop your website. All the magic happens on that website. It really does. That's how we can let you know what they're doing, when they're doing it, and engage them based on that behavior. So if you have leads in your website that you haven't reached out to and you're not sure what to say, maybe try this one. Go to the template field, type import, and what you're going to see is what's called the imported leads default email. Imported leads, let me put this into the chat. Imported leads default email. That's the template name. The template name. So look what it says. So it's going to say hello lead first name, and it will pull the lead's first name. You know, we talk about, hey, I'm in real estate, I got new technology. We ask them a few questions. You looking to buy or sell, or already did. We drop your website, and then we mention, you know, to download. You all have a mobile app on your website. We have a new one coming, by the way, so don't put too much weight into this right here. We have a brand new one, but it's something. Point is, you could change any of this if you wanted to. You know, put your own message here, and then schedule it to go out. And then you can include your signature if you wanted. That's probably the best first thing any of you could do. You know, read the email that I've just mentioned, and you know, if you want to change it a bit, by all means, make sure that you definitely have your website left on, and then the rest of it have added. These are good questions, but you know what I mean? It's like, what good does all this stuff do if we're not using it and it's not impacting our business and furthering the relationships with your clients? Truly, you know what I mean? All right, hopefully it makes some good sense. Let's get back to our CRM. Let me tell you a few other things you might not have known about. And then we'll see how you're all doing. Okay, so we learned we can filter by status. We learned we can filter by type. We learned we can filter by hashtags. We can create saved filters. What else can we do? Did you know that anybody that responds in the system, as long as they're turned on, which all of yours are, so unless you turned it off, we have campaigns for every one of these stages. Campaigns for your sphere, your prospects, your new leads, your actives, client, contract, and close. If you have a new lead campaign on one of your leads, which, did you know this? Anybody that signs up on your website, there's that market report. Anybody that signs up on your website, sorry, just lost my train of thought there. Oh, that's right. Anybody that signs up on your website is considered a new lead. They're either a buyer, they're a seller, or they're a renter, period. We have campaigns for all three. If they signed up on your website, depending on what they were looking at, those campaigns automatically attach without you doing anything. When your lead responds, and they will, it's just a matter of time, the system automatically moves them to active status. Think about that for a minute. Think about how you can now categorize your leads based on active status. Now that you know that, that means when I'm in my CRM, I can go ahead and filter by anybody that's inactive, and I'll know without a shadow of a doubt that all of these people have responded to me in some way. Did you know that? Buyer or seller or renter. And guess what? The campaign that automatically attaches for active, there's nothing in it except reminders for you to follow up with them. The new lead campaigns, oh yeah, they got lots of messages. Once we get them talking and they respond, the system goes, oh, they responded, either text, email, or phone. Let's move them to active. Let's let Brett follow up now. Did you know that? So that is an outstanding way for you to prioritize your database. Come in here, I could make a saved filter, right? And I'd call this, you know, all active leads or just active leads, whatever you want, right? I could pin it to the top if I want, or not, just have it in my drop down. Awesome. Now you could have a way to follow up. I could even take it deeper. Show me all my active leads. You could go down to behavior. See that filter there on the lower left, behavior. The last time you called, so you could exclude people or include, you know what I mean? Say, okay, here's all my active leads. When was the last time that I called these people? Last 30 days, last month. So you can say, have I followed up with them or not? Did I already reach out to them or not? Did I already send them an email? A great way for you to stay in front of them. Finally, predictive scoring. Did you know that everyone who signs up on your website gets a predictive score automatically? This predictive score, let me pull up an article for you. Predictive, I can't even spell today. Predictive, that's not right either. Predictive score. Oh, there it is. Lead star rating. So when they sign up, we give them a rating on a 1 to 5 stars. Okay. And what happens is over time, there you go. There's the article. We will subtract or add leads based on their behavior. So we give you a few use cases, a few examples here, like they signed up. Let's say the system gives them 2 stars. They gave their phone, they gave their email. We validate it, by the way, too, to see, does that email exist with another social media account? Maybe it does. If it does, we'll let you know. But we give them a star. So we'll start adding stars. If they gave us an address, they get a star. Okay. They don't have an address, they might lose a star. If they're already in the system, we update them on a weekly basis. So let's say I'm actively searching for the first week and then I fall off for a couple weeks. We'll take away a star. You see what I mean? So it's going to add and subtract stars based on behavior and information that we have over time. What this means to you is I can use my CRM to go to contact details and use the rating system. Show me everybody in the system that has a 3-star. I could save that filter, 3-star leads, right? I mean, that could change over time, right? As you just learned. Now, here's the thing. If I'm talking with one of these leads and I decide that I want to give you a 5-star rating, everything I just said stops. If you give it a 5-star, it will remain a 5-star until you change it. But if you leave it alone, it's going to continue to add or subtract based on behavior. And that means for you, you can start to, if you took in number 1, active leads, I know they've responded. Number 2, I could go to my rating system, my predictive scores, and start running some filters on, the 1 to 5 stars for a way to prioritize your CRM. Does that make sense? I'm going to stop right there. What questions do we have? That is correct. You can set up 2 alerts for each contact. That's right. Occasionally, I do hear that. I mean, I've never experienced it. I've never had to set up more than 2 per lead. You could add, 2 leads if you got 2 emails for them. But I mean, I know there's a feature request in there. I'll tell you that. But I'll also tell you the truth. I don't think that that's going to happen. In our experience, 2 is enough per contact, but that is correct. Yep. Can you give me a use case that I could share with someone of why we should have more than 2? Most people only use 1. I would say over 90% of all our clients, which there's well over 100,000, only use 1. It doesn't mean it shouldn't be. I'm just asking. I'm just saying most people don't use it in my experience. Anyway, that is feedback is greatly appreciated. That's the magic number. In fact, when we first built this, there was only 1. I would say in response to you, and I'm asking this in the most honest, sincere way, why would you want more than 2? Truly. I mean, most people only use 1 on that. I mean, I guess I had a scenario where he was looking at fixer-uppers. So I set 1 alert up with fixer-uppers and then the other alert up with everything else in the house, or, just no fixer-uppers, just regular houses for sale. But if you can give some feedback, give a reason, they'd take it more from you than they would from me. I'd use that live chat bubble in the lower right and make a feature request. They would take that very seriously, very seriously. Oh, you're up in Canada. Gotcha. There's some challenges up there with your MLSs. It's been challenging. That is absolutely, I'd go to our live chat. I mean, usually our hands are tied by your MLS on how we can display things. But if you did see that, let me see, there's one thing I do know that might help you, Josephine, and that would be, there's 2 ways you can search. You can use either the geographical area or the regular MLS. It could be that your website, and I bet it is, I bet this is exactly what happened, is set up on our geographical search. Now, what is the geographical search? That is latitude and longitude. I mean, it's still, we're just mapping your MLS different than they typically do it. Like around here, if I was looking for a particular area, let's say Carlsbad, I get my drop down, right? City, area, some neighborhoods. Now, if I toggle over the geographical area and I put the same place in, Carlsbad, now I have neighborhoods again. Probably what the issue is on your website is you have the default setting to be geographical. You want me to show you how to change it real quick? Probably save you some time. And what I bet you, tell me if I'm wrong here. So when you come to your website, like, and if I go Vancouver, you're only getting neighborhoods as options down here. Is that what I'm hearing? Because I bet that's what it is. So like when I put in Carlsbad on my website, and if that's happening on the back end, I would definitely reach out to support on that. But if it's happening on the front end, we can change it. So if it's coming on this website, we could change it. Oh, no, it's in the contact page. Yeah. Well, try doing both and see if that makes a difference. Try using the geographical area, put in Vancouver, city of Vancouver, BC, and then try in the regular old MLS and see if you're getting any differences there. I mean, I would ask, you know, I don't know. If you went to your MLS, does it display differently? Because if it does, we should be matching that. So that's definitely a support question. You're saying, look, my MLS displays it like this. Yours is only giving me neighborhoods. Let's look into it. Do you know what I mean? Put them to work. Excellent. I see. Okay, I couldn't enter more than one city alert. Well, that's true only if you use the geographical area. If you used your MLS, you should have no limit. You should be able to, you know, the regular old MLS, I could say, you know, Carlsbad, Oceanside, Encinitas. These are all the areas where I'm at. You know, you with regular MLS, you should be able to put in multiple values. And if not, then something's up with your MLS, at least the way that we're talking to it. Do you know what I mean? Now, if I go geographical area, you can only put in one at a time when we use latitude and longitude. That's a fact. But you should not have that issue. And that makes me wonder if the settings on your system, but that's only for the website, shouldn't be on the back end. That's why I asked that question. Let's get that sorted out for you. Appreciate your patience with that. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with your system there. That's not my experience, and I have quite a few clients actually up in Canada, and I know that I've been able to. Yeah, please do, because that does concern me. I don't want you to be using the system that's not working as it should. So, but it sounds like you already got the examples. Come with them at the example, and if you want to move it along even faster, go into your platform, and then go to that search alert and take a picture, like screenshot. Like if you're trying to put it in and it says it replaces it, just say, hey, look, I'm doing it just like this using Vancouver, and I do this, and then it pops out, and then they can get to the issue more quickly. Thanks for your patience with that. Any questions from anybody else? Yep, screenshot helps, because then that's what they're going to ask you. So you're going to email them. They're going to say, cool, want to help. They're going to say, okay, can you give us a screenshot? And then you're going to respond back. You know what I mean? So just that'll just get you right to the front of the line. Thank you. Thank you. Well, folks, that's all I have for you with the CRM. These are intended to be a half-hour long. I went longer. If you have a question about the CRM filter, I can answer it. Otherwise, we'll get you back to your day. I'll update this doc with recording. Excuse me. And I'll hope that you have a safe, productive, and successful day out there. Once again, my name was Brett Kay. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for being patient with me and being open-minded. Thank you. Thank you. We want to make this valuable to you. And my hope is always you have something you learned that you didn't know before, but even more importantly, that you can, do something in your system that will make a difference with your clients. So I hope this will start with the categories and then reach out to them in a meaningful way. But the most important thing you can do is properly categorize them. So focus on your active leads. They responded. Now you have a little bit more info about that star rating system. Maybe you use it. Maybe you take a peek at all your 3 or 4 stars, see if you have any. Have you reached out to them? And if not, well, you know the answer to that one, right? Outstanding. Folks, be safe out there. I hope you win that listing. Have a great day. It was a pleasure.